All right, guys, this is going to be a big one. This is the 1987 Topps Baseball Complete set breakdown. This is going to be just a complete set, not the Topps traded, because I started to kind of like figure it out. The video would just be way too long, because I'm going to go card by card with the Topps traded, because that's what I actually started to try to assemble first, and I will post that tomorrow. But it's going to be a lot more detail in that. Maybe the history of some people that, why they don't sign, or have they been a good signer in the past, or blah, blah, blah. I'm going to really hit that hard. I'm going to post that tomorrow. This would just be probably like an hour long. And I don't want people to have to fast forward through whatever they're looking through. So anyway, this is the pile right here is the ones that don't currently sign, or deceased, or just haven't really been a good signer at all. And this right here is mostly just the team checklists and the regular checklists of people, the team leaders cards of people who don't all sign. Like Glenn Wilson and Von Hayes do sign, but Juan Samuel used to be a good signer. He doesn't really do that anymore. So I've got a couple off the side that you should be able to complete. So I don't want this to be a super long video, but I'll try to get through it pretty quick. Don't want to rush through it, but I'll move these over to the side. I've added the autographs I've already acquired through the mail in this pile. This is the free pile. The ones that you can send off to and get free autographs, TTMs through the mail. There's 209 cards in here, because some people have, all-star cards and whatever. This is the paid pile. This is 139 cards in this pile. Let's go ahead and start with the free ones right here. But before I do, real quick, there is one guy who does sign, or two guys actually, that do sign, but do not sign their 87 Topps for whatever reason. One of them is Ricky Wright, Texas Rangers player. And the other one is Jeff Reed, who used to sign all the time. I don't know why he doesn't sign that anymore. I went through it before on one of my TTM video hauls. He also has a Topps traded as well. He does not sign that card either. And there's one other on Topps traded that does not sign, will never sign, has not ever signed this card. It's Mike Dunn. I will add that to the video tomorrow as well, but I don't know why. He just has never ever signed that card. So let's go with the free ones first. You'll get an idea of what the signatures look like too, some of the ones that I've received. So let's get started. All right, we got Jim Acker, Bill Allman, very good signer. Larry Anderson, he's super hard to get. Right now, he has had some people contact him through, I think he's a Phillies play-by-play guy, or a color commentator guy. He hasn't had a success in a while, but he used to be a very good signer. Paul Osamacher, Scott Bales. Dusty Baker has been a good signer in the past. I don't think he doesn't have a good address right now. One of the addresses he used to sign from all the time, or getting return to senders all the time. I don't know if he's just done. So Steve Balboni is one per submission. Oh, Chris Bando, he used to be a Pass Pros guy. I don't know if he is anymore, because he's doing TTMs for free regularly. So Floyd Bannister, another guy who used to be a very good TTMer, hasn't had a success in about a year, but traditionally pretty good signer. Billy Bean, very good signer. Jim Beattie, Bruce Benedict, very good signer. I don't know why I didn't add this in my submission to him a couple months back. I must have just went for some older cards. Carl Best, Mike Bielecki, Dan Billardello, Mike Birkbeck, Bruce Bochy, Bodie, Boched, Bob Boone. He's another guy. He's very streaky. If you can catch him when he signs, he kind of signs a little stretch, and then from that point on, he's just refusing them. So right now, his window, I think, closed kind of back in April. I think maybe was his last return. So, Rich Bordy. And by the way, if you have any questions with this, any of the addresses and stuff, it's Sports Card Forum is where I get most of the information. I am a member of sportscollectors.net as well. And I did get some information from there. But for the most part, Sports Collectors, I think it's $15 a year. For the most part, I basically use that other site to confirm if something, basically just confirm the addresses and whatever. So it's mostly the same information. Thad Bosley, Phil Bradley, Greg Brock, Tom Brookins. He's another guy who's kind of hit or miss. Tom Bernansky is a Pass Pros guy, but he's kind of transitioning from free to Pass Pros. Right now, he's still signing stuff. So, T.R. Bryden. I think this might be his only pro card. He does have quite a few minor league cards, if you wanted to add some more. Steve Buechele. He's a Rangers color guy. Looks like he signing some of his backlog here recently. I did recently send to him. So hopefully I'll get that back at some point. Sal Butera. Brett Butler. It takes a very long time to get him, but he has been sending some back here recently that's like a year and a half old or so. Jeff Calhoun. Don Carmen. Chuck Carey. Rick Cerrone is 1 per submission. Jim Clancy. Jaime Kokenauer. Chris Codrioli. We got, let's try to go faster a little bit through here. I'm picking them all the time. Tim Conroy, Joe Cowley, Steve Crawford, Danny Darwin. I don't know why I didn't send this off as well. I think I went super old in my submission before, so I'm going to send to him in here in probably a little bit. So Mike Davis. Storm Davis, he's another one of those. He's kind of like I would put him in like the Floyd Bannister group. He used to be a very, very good signer. I think we just have a bad address right now. So maybe in the future, if we get a good address, he'll pick Brett back up. I think it's been almost a year since his last successful return. Bill Dolly, Brian Dayette. He has Parkinson's. It's been quite a while since he has done any TTMs. But he was doing them as of end of last year. Just FYI, I'll throw in some money with him too if he probably needs it. Frank DePino, Benny DeStefano, Pat Dodson is kind of a hard one to get as well. Dave Dravecki, Mariano Duncan. He is a minor league coach. The season does end here in like a week. His address is on Sports Card Forum. I probably wouldn't send to that address right now. I think it's just too close of a call. But he does do them. Maybe someone will find a house address for him soon. Jim Dwyer, Mike Easler, Mark Eichhorn, Daryl Evans. Just be prepared to wait a long time, just like Brett Butler. We got Steve Farr. John Felsky. Look at this. I bought the wrong size top or penny sleeves a while back, and there's still a few I've got. I haven't switched them over yet. Steve Fire. I don't know how to say this. Firavid. I think he's got one other pro card, but he's got a lot of minor league cards too. Brian Fisher. Mike Fitzgerald. He has had a couple successes here in the last few weeks. Looks like he may only sign one. Scott Fletcher. I sent off to him back in April. I haven't got anything back, but he's another one of those guys that has a long history of signing. Ray Fontenot. He's kind of hard to get as well. Greg Gagne. Gene Garber. Phil Garner. Rich Gedman. Johnny Grubb. I like that. I didn't even ask him for the inscription, so that's pretty cool. Mr. Grubb did that. Mark Gubiza. Lee Guterman. Ron Guidry. Dave Gumpert. Jose Guzman. He is part of the Rangers organization. I did send to him a few months back. I haven't got it yet, but very good signer for the most part. Atlee Hammaker. Very hard, very hard to get. He'll sign. He used to be a very good signer, I guess. As before I started doing it, but it seems like he'll sign one at every 20 submissions he gets. So, Toby Hara, very good signer. Greg Harris, Billy Hatcher. He does kind of sign one per. I think he's a member of the Reds coaching staff or front office or whatever. I did send to him back in June. I don't think I've got it. I know I didn't get it yet. But I think I sent that card. Ed Hearn. Jeff Heron. He has not been a very good signer in the past, but he's got a couple returns here recently. So, FYI, that's probably someone I'm going to send off to this week, just to because he wasn't even on my radar in the 87 Donruss set breakdown I did. Those returns didn't come in before that, so I had him in the pile that didn't sign at the time. So it goes to show you that things change pretty quick when it comes to this. So there could be some guys who didn't sign 2 weeks ago that do today. Joe Hesketh, Ricky Horton, Charlie Huff, Jay Howell, Glenn Hubbard. He's a tough one, but he does sign. Charles Hudson, Mark Huseman, Pete Incaviglia. He is a minor league coach. I sent to him back in probably June. I haven't got it back yet, but hopefully I'll get it back. Dane Iorg. I don't know why I didn't send. I swear I sent Garth this card, but I can't find it. So yeah, he's a very good signer. Brooke Jacoby. He's a kind of a tough one to get now. He used to be very good. Wallace Johnson. I sent to him last week. Bob Kearney. He hasn't had a success in a while. I have had some to kind of set aside to send him, but I'm kind of waiting for a return from him before I send off. Tom Kelly, Terry Kennedy, Charlie Kerfield. This guy's a character. You should read about him. Pretty colorful guy there in the bullpen. Sammy Khalifa, Mike Kingery, Bob Kipper, Ron Kittle, Bill Kruger, Mike Laga, Dennis Lamp, Hal Lanier, Dave LaPointe, Tony La Russa. Look at that tiny signature. I should grab that. One of these times when I have a return, I'm going to show you. I've got an 89 Topps Tony La Russa from like a TTM maybe 20 years ago that my brother got and he gave to me. The signature is way bigger. I don't know why he's went to this little tiny signature now. Vance Law, beautiful signature. Tom Lawless as well. Jim Leland. I put this in here because he was a very good signer this summer, but here in the last 2 weeks, the address became bad. So either he just shut off all of his mail to his regular address and went to a P.O. box somewhere in Pittsburgh, or he went off to his winter residence somewhere. So, but keep an eye on it. Maybe he'll open it back up, or someone gets a new address for him. So, Mike Lloyd, it's a pretty long wait usually for him. Greg Lucas, Rick Manning, Mike Marshall, Tippy Martinez, Mike Mason, Roger Mason, Odabe McDowell, Andy McGaffigan, Scott McGregor, Craig McMurtry, Bobby Meacham. Let's move this over here. Oh, and all right, we got Russ Morman, John Morris, Jim Morrison. He's kind of hard, but he does sign. John Moses currently has a bad address, but typically a good signer. Hopefully we'll get a good address for him here soon. Rob Murphy, kind of hard to get. Gene Nelson, kind of long wait for him. Scott Nielsen, Randy Neiman. Oh, look at that smudge on that auto. Pete O'Brien, Brian Oakers, Randy O'Neill, Jesse Roscoe. I put him in the free. I have seen people get free for him. I have also seen people throw in like $5 per submission. So just FYI. Jim Pankovitz, Dan Pasqua, Gary Pettis. It's kind of a long way. I think he doesn't sign till after the season now. So I sent him back in like May. So hopefully I'll get him back at some point this winter. Ted Power. Jim Presley, he's not a typically good signer, but he did have a couple returns. But then I think he got hammered. So either he's going to turn out to be a good, address like Omar Vizquel eventually, or he's just going to ignore them and never sign an autograph from his house again. Just keep an eye on that. Tim Pisnarski, Ray Quinones. He lives in Puerto Rico, and I didn't know his English skills, so I actually went to Google, and I Google translated my letter to him from English to Spanish, and I wrote it down in Spanish. I don't know if it worked. I don't know. I just wanted to, because you never know. Dennis Rasmussen. Shane Raleigh is actually signing some of his backlog right now. So just FYI, down at his pizza joint down in Florida. Johnny Ray, Floyd Rayford, Jerry Reed, Rick Ruschel. Dave Righetti, I put him in the free. He's just very hard to get. He's very busy during the year, being a pitching coach and all. Hopefully this winter, maybe he'll catch up on his backlog or something. I know some people's thrown money in there, and he has signed. I never noticed it's like the same. Is that the same picture? I don't know. Billy Joe Robideau, Don Robinson, Jeff Robinson, Bob Buck Rogers, Gary Renicky, Ron Renicky. He's getting some returns now. Ed Romero, Wade Roden. He is kind of a long wait. I'm not sure about the address right now we currently have for him. John Russell, Luis Salazar, Joe Sambito, Billy Sample, Dan Schatzeder, Bill Shearer. I don't know. He's very hard to get. Let's just say that. Dave Schmidt, Bill Schroeder, Ken Schramm, Rick Shue. Jeff Sellers is kind of a hard one to get as well. Pat Sheridan, Joel Skinner, Bryn Smith, Zane Smith, Mike Smithson. And this last pile of the free ones. Corey Snyder. He's kind of hard to get right now, but hopefully he'll sign some backlog here soon. Ray Soff, Cliff Speck, John Stefero, Tim Stoddard, Jeff Stone, Franklin Stubbs, Mark Sullivan, BJ Surhoff. He's kind of hard to get, but you catch him at the right time, he'll sign it. So I don't know. Bill Swift, not a great signer here recently, but someone did have a successor recently. So this is from an older TTM return my brother gave me from like 20 years ago. That's why it's in a different case right here. But I forgot I had this, so I did send him this exact same card. Well, not exact same card. I did send him an 87 Topps to be signed. So if I get that, I guess I'll give the other to my brother. Frank Tanana, Walt Terrell, Scott Terry, Mickey Telleton. He is a coach, minor league coach for like a rookie ball, but the season's over. I would wait till maybe next season to see where he's coaching. And since he has a history of doing TTMs, I would definitely feel comfortable sending to him next year. And he won their championship, so hopefully, maybe he'll have a better job next year. Maybe somewhere in A-ball or something. Bob Tewksbury, Andre Thornton, Mark Thurman. He's a 1 per guy. Manny Trio, Steve Trout, Mike Trujillo, Bobby Valentine's another 1 per. Ed Vandenberg, Max Venable, Chico Walker started to get some returns here recently. Greg Walker, Bill Wegman. Eddie Whitson used to be a very good signer, hasn't had one in a while. Hopefully he is doing okay. So, but just keep an eye on him. Ernie Witt, Carl Willis, Glenn Wilson. It's kind of tough to get. I did send to him, like, I think I sent like 3 cards back in maybe May or June, and I got like 7 cards back. It was weird, but then there's all these people who didn't get any back. I don't know why I got them. It's not like I'm a huge Phillies fan or something. I just wrote him a simple letter about remembering when he played when he was back in the 80s or whatever. So Jim Wynn, Jim Wolford's kind of hard to get these days. Ed Wojna, Todd Whirl. I got lucky enough to kind of send to him in his little window he has to sign. I haven't seen return from him in a while. Butch Winiger, Marvell Wynn. I'm dropping things everywhere. Rich Yett, Matt Young, and Paul Zuvella. All right, let's go to the guys who charge and how much they charge. Let's move that over to the side. Oh, and this one too. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed seeing the autographs that I got as well. Kind of gives you an idea of what they look like. So maybe it gives you extra incentive to send to them, or maybe it stops you from sending to them. Well, actually, before I do the paid, here's a couple team leaders that you can get signed. I believe we'll talk about the last one. So Buck Rogers and Mike Fitzgerald on this team leaders card. Ron Say and Steve Trout. You'll have to pay for Say. I think it's 15. Yeah. And then we got Bobby Valentine and Ricky Wright. He doesn't sign his normal 87 tops, but I don't know about this. He may sign that. Maybe he just doesn't like that picture on 87 tops. Maybe, that happens. So let's get going on the signed and how much they charge. All right. Got Rick Anderson. He charges $5. Tony Armas, $15. Wally Backman, he's a pass pros guy, but he's very streaky. I just wouldn't send to him. I don't know. Unless you send a check or something. Harold Baines, $20. Jesse Barfield is $15. Kevin Bass is $5. Lon Beringer is $5. Bruce Berini. I honestly don't remember how to pronounce this. I'm sorry. $3. Buddy Biancalana is $15. Some stuff's falling down here. Bert Blylevin is $20. Mike Boddicker is $5. Wade Boggs is $10. I don't know if you guys saw the news yesterday, but Mr. Boggs is battling prostate cancer, so we wish him all the best. And we hope that, I saw that he wants to ring that bell. So that means he would be in remission and his treatments would be done. So we all wish him the best. Daryl Boston is $15. Oil Can Boyd, he was free, but now he's sending people and he's sending notes back. Hey, could you send back $5 or whatever? So he's really, I guess he's charging like $5 a card now. So Sid Bream, $1. Mike Brown is $5. John Candelaria, $15. Jose Canseco, $15. Steve Carlton, $40. Joe Carter is $10, but I don't know. He hasn't been there hasn't been a whole lot of successes. So unless you want to send a check or something and maybe you'll get lucky. This is another one from my brother's pile that he gave to me years ago. Ron Say is $15. Look at I don't know why he put all these in those top loaders from I don't even know what game day or the vintage basketball and stuff, or like there's an NFL game day and there's a basketball. I forget what those are called, but yeah. Jack Clark, $12. Will Clark is $20. I think it's the donation to an autism charity, but he's kind of streaky, so just kind of keep an eye on when he signs. Roger Clemens is $100. There's a couple there. Be pricey if you're trying to do the whole set. Vince Coleman is $20. Cecil Cooper is $5. Doug Corbett is $3. Henry Cotto is $5. Jose Cruz Sr. is $5. Glenn Davis, he's a Pass Pros guy. I think he's somewhere around 15. Don't quote me on that. It's kind of hard to tell the prices on Pass Pros because there's like a Pass Pros fee on top of everything. So it's just easier if you're interested, go to Pass Pros, PASTPROS.com and kind of check out how much they are. You probably have to like put it in your cart or something. Jody Davis is $5. Andre Dawson is $10. Doug DeCentis is $3. Rick Dempsey, I think it might be like $5 per submission. I always thought it was $5 per card, but for the safe side, I would just do that. I've seen some people have success just sending $5 for like 2 cards or something. I don't want to cheap them out, just FYI, just kind of look at that. Bob Denier is $5. Ken Dixon is $5. Dennis Eckersley is $10. Cecil Fielder started doing some TTM paids for $10, so let's keep an eye on that one too. Mike Fischlin is $5. Carlton Fisk is $50. Jim Gentner is $5. Steve Garvey is $5. Dwight Gooden is $20. There's a couple cards here. Goose Gossage is $10. Bob Gritch is $30. And Kelly Gruber, I think he's another guy that's like, just send $5 and he'll sign a few cards. It's from what I, just based on some people who's had some successes from him. Bill Gullickson is $5. Ron Hassey is $10. Mickey Hatcher, he is $15, but through like JD Promotions. That's something I didn't realize until I went to sportscollectors.net, and I kind of figured that out. There's nothing on Sports Card Forum really for him, so just keep it, FYI with that one. I'm saying FYI a lot, but Devon Hayes is $5. Keith Hernandez is $25. Tom Herr is $5. Teddy Higuera is $10. Oh, Bob Horner is $10. Jack Howell is $10. Kent Herbeck is $5. Clint Hurdle, $5. Bruce Hurst is a Pass Pros guy. I think he was like $15, if I remember right. Reggie Jackson, $100. Steve Jeltz, $10. Tommy John, $50. Cliff Johnson is $5. Davey Johnson's $5. Howard Johnson is $10. Rupert Jones is $25. Wally Joyner is, I think it's $15 plus like $3 Pass Pros fee, so it's like $18. Jimmy Key is $5. Dave Kingman, $5. Lee Lacey is $20. Jeff Lottie, I guess he's a Pass Pros guy. I can't imagine he charges that much, but I'm guessing all these Pass Pros guys are at least $10. So Rudy Law is $15. Vance Law is $5. Charlie Lebrandt's $5. Dennis Leonard is $3. Bill Madlock is $10. Dennis Martinez is $5. Larry McWilliams is $5. Orlando Mercado, $5. Paul Molitor is $20. Dale Murphy is $25. Tom Niedenfuhr is another JD Promotions guy, and he's $15 per card. Ken Oberkfeld, I think he's $6. Hasn't really had a success in a while, so I'd keep an eye on him. Ron Oster, I don't know. He has sent some people a price list, but whenever I sent to him, he just sent my card unsigned. He did not send a price list. The only thing I can tell you is that someone left a note in his Sports Card Forum profile. It said I could get Hall of Famers for less than that. So I'm guessing it's 15 or more. So Steve Ontiveros is $5. There's another Jesse Roscoe card. Junior Ortiz is $5. Rafael Palmeiro is $20. Dave Palmer is $10. Dave Parker is $25. He's another guy who's battling disease there. Lance Parrish is $15. Larry Parrish, he's a pass pros guy, probably 15 or more. Alejandro Pena is $3. Dan Petrie is $10. Lou Piniella is $5. Eric Plunk is $5. Terry Poole's $10. Jeff Reardon is 10. Yeah. Gary Redis is $5. Jerry Reese is $15. Ron Reynolds is $10. Jim Rice is $20. Bip Roberts is $20 through Pass Pros. Pete Rose is $50. Jeff Russell is a Pass Pros guy. I think it's like $10 plus $3 Pass Pro fee, so it's like $13. Nolan Ryan is $75 through his foundation. Brett Saberhagen is $10. Ryan Sandberg is $10. Steve Sachs is $5. Bill Shirley $3. Ruben Sierra is $10. Doug Sisk is $5. Lee Smith is $30. Lonnie Smith is $10. Chris Spear is through Pass Pros. I believe he's $15 plus $3. I think it's like 18 or something. Danny Tarble is only $2. Very good price. He got back with me maybe in like 2 weeks. So Gary Templeton's a Pass Pro guy as well. I think he was a little pricey. I think it was at least $25. Gorman Thomas is $5. Dickie Thon's a Pass Pros guy. I think it was $10 plus $3. John Tudor is $5. Andy Van Slyke is another Pass Pros guy. I think he's either $13 or $18. Frank Viola is $5. Lou Whitaker's $25. Devin White's a Pass Pros guy. And Frank White is $2. I don't know how much they charge. I think Devin White was at least $20. Willie Wilson's $5. Herm Winningham is $5. And Joel Youngblood is $5. So that is the regular 1 through 792, I believe, right? 792 of the Topps complete set. I will post the 1987 Topps traded tomorrow, and I'm going to do a little bit more in depth. I'm going to go card by card and tell you, some of the history of the signs. If they don't sign, have they in the past? Are they live? Things like that. So I didn't want to make it like an hour long. I'm already over a half hour right now. So I just want to thank everyone for sticking around. I did this stuff as I was watching the football game last night. So it didn't really take me too long, really, because I already did some of the work before with the 87 Donruss. So I want to thank everyone for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow for the traded set.